of that. Turn that off. Turn that off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Nothing. Mark Carey wrote the book Dancing with the Devil. He's at the door. Open the door. Open the door. We don't have much time to talk. Did you bring him in? Mark, we have so much to ask you. I just didn't want to make it a long introduction. Hi.
How you doing, Wendy?
How you doing, Mark?
As long as I'm here, right?
Mark, I've got to tell you, look how bent up my book is. It's torn up, bent up, pages bent, the whole bit. I read it. My husband read it. My Charlemagne the God read it. Everybody. Right. Turn on his microphone. What is wrong with his mic? There's not the time to pull some shenanigans. Ken, pay attention. He needs a new microphone. Dawn, you BLS. Can somebody look alive over here and switch the microphones around? I got an exclusive interview. She spazzes out! Look at this. How many experienced people does it take to work a microphone?
All right.
I apologize that. And team, okay. I apologize to you too. If all the microphones were working to begin with, then we wouldn't have this while we have an...
You're a perfectionist.
Oh, Mark. I'm nosy is what I am.
That's all right.
And I also understand the two sides to every story.
Right.
Your book is phenomenal. It's called Dancing with the Devil. How Puff burned the bad boys of...
Yeah, you know.
I read it forward and backward. And one thing that I must say to you is, how long were you working at Bad Boy?
I was there probably from like 97, right around the end of Biggie Small's life.
Yeah.
You know, right at 97 through like... It really never ended. You know, we never really ended. I just ended up walking away and just never responded, never communicated with him no more.
Well, in the book, there was an email to you. Was that kind of like the final email and you just kind of walked away?
Those were our build-ups. You know, because it was like the only way I could communicate with him is through text messaging.
Puffy.
Yeah, because you...
Okay. Well, let's back up. Why did you stay with Puff so long if it was evident to you? That's your phone?
Oh, and I'm sorry. You know what? I was in the wrong.
You know what?
Can you throw that phone out, please?
I never said that you were coming up here because I was so nervous that people would call you and tell you don't come, or somebody would try to do a cease and desist. If I was Puffy, I would cease and desist this.
You want to know what? But I tell you what, that right there is a representation of the reason why I call it Dancing with the Devil, because I've been through hell my life.
Yeah.
You know, I seem like I literally been through hell over just pursuing a dream of mine. You feel me?
So how old are you now?
I'm 37.
Why didn't you just leave?
Because leaving is one thing, but then you say, you know what, I never really turned down from no man. So if I'm walking straight, either you gonna move and let me through, or I'm gonna have to go through, because you know I'm gonna go straight to it. And I signed. You know, I started dealing with him when I'm 26. And, you know, at 30, you know what I'm gonna do. Back up and go sign say, no, you know what? I said I'm bad boy to the casket drop. Now I want to be with Murder Inc.
Well, you seem like you had a lot of support. Your girlfriend Deidre, did you ever end up marrying her and having more children? You still with her?
Yep, still with her.
Good for you.
It's been rough, but we still together, you know.
So wrote hits and sold backstage passes, and that's pretty much how you got your extra money when you were on the label. Yeah. Everything looked real flamboyant from the outside. You were living in one of apartments. At one point, living there sometimes with D-Mac when he was in town. Other times with Shine. Right. Shine got signed when you thought you were next on deck. Mase got signed when you thought you were next on deck.
Wow.
I read the book.
Wow. You've been doing your homework, Wendy.
Yes.
Yeah. But Mase was there before me. I was there before Shine, before G-Dep, right after Rob. It was my time to go. Then Loon came in. I was on the back burner. Yeah. You know, and I'm the hot man.
Yeah.
You know? And I just wanted my chance to do it for my family. You know, I lost my mother and father in the midst of it. So today, I said I'm going to come here regardless. I don't care, because it can't be no worse than what it already been.
Excuse me?
Yeah, it ain't good.
This is not the worst place to be.
No, I'm talking about as far as people saying, should I not come do the interview? Yeah. Nah.
Okay, I'm keeping you for a whole hour, by the way.
Okay, let's do the hour then.
And do you blog at any place?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
Right.
I recently started, though, because I see how important blogging is.
Well, I don't blog, but I was going to tell you, give out all of your information. I'm sure listeners want to blog. If I was Puffy, I'd want to stop this book.
Yeah, well, you know, the whole purpose was, you know, to actually that's just my statement. The book is that's my life. So you can stop my life.
When we get back, I want to talk about the drugs, the sex, the groupies. I want to talk about what rapper's mother was kidnapped, why you didn't mention Total in the book. I want to talk about the Biggie years. I want to talk about the Shine years. And I want to know why this book about Puffy is called Dancing with the Devil. Mark Carey is here. You can pick up his book at markcareybook.com. .com. Texters telling me I should have checked the mics before the guests came in. How about this is not a college radio station, okay? How about this is a real radio station where I'm thinking stuff is really going to work just on the drop of a button push. Okay, Mark Curry is here, everybody. His book is called Dancing with the Devil. If you choose to pick it up, it's available at markcurrybook.com. He's self-published. Mark, I never heard of you until this book. I thought it was the comedian hanging with Mr. Cooper, Mark Curry, who wrote the book.
That's something else I had to live with. I couldn't even be who I was. Everybody always thought I'm Mr. Cooper. I'm Mark Curry.
But I am part of this entire era.
Yes.
And never knew who you were. Why wasn't the group Total, who was signed with Bad Boy, ever mentioned in this book?
One... that's a good one.
Yeah.
But I think that when I'm in the book, I just didn't give Total just a second. I just didn't give him that thought. I just didn't give him that thought. But then they're apparent.
Got you.
Totally out of the picture right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally crossed out.
Totally gone.
Totally done.
Yeah.
All right. So in the book, you implied that Biggie died broke and wasn't happy with Puff. And what I got from that was if Biggie lived, Biggie would have moved on. Biggie would have been moved on by now.
Well, just from what everybody knows, Biggie, from just VH1 television, which you hear, everybody knows, he was already moving. I think he was moving with that Junior Mafia project.
Right.
So Tupac, he was moving. Everybody who I think is not happy in the situation eventually wants to move.
So you said in the book also that Puffy jumped on the plane quickly within 3 hours of Biggie getting killed. And but in Faith's book, Faith says that Puffy was at the hospital. What do you make of that? If Mrs. Wallace and Faith say that he was at the hospital and you say that they left, what do you make of that? Here he goes.
No. I don't be around rooms of homosexuals. They don't that around me.
Okay.
I'm different. If I see homosexual activity, I go to the store.
Okay, had many ghostwriters, including you, Mase, Jane Kiss, Loon, Black Rob, and
Source Money.
Most recently, Sirius Jones. Who else has ghostwritten for Puffy that we might not know about?
I mean, you got the Hood fellas, Maroc.
Yeah.
I mean, a few,
Were you down with the drugs and the groupies?
Was I down with the drugs and the groupies?
Yeah, because you painted
always. That's always going to be a part of the game. But that's something that I let master me.
Do you think that Miss Wallace and Faith were paid off to ride with Biggie's or Puffy's side of the story?
I mean, it's going to make whatever. I feel that they're going to go for the money, whatever makes money.
Does that a yes or a no?
I mean, I think in a way, yes.
Okay. The song "Miss You," the proceeds of the song, Puffy said, "We're going to Miss Wallace, Faith, the Biggie family." You insinuated in your book that. Well, it's called Dancing with the Devil. That Puffy never did anything generous unless his empire was being threatened.
Yeah, but I mean, that's how he moves.
Yeah,
that's how he moves.
City College was big, especially here in New York back in 1981. 9 young people were killed. Heavy D, Puffy, the big event.
Right.
What was the aftermath of that? You mentioned in the book that Puffy had all but not forgotten about City College, but let it subside until Biggie's murder. Yeah. Then all those bad feelings came up again.
I mean, you looking at this a man that has a shadow of things that follow him, and it'll rain on you too. You understand this? Yes. That dark cloud that follows you. So it's really all about the dark cloud. A lot of things, almost anything you might try to do may not be successful at it.
Did you like Jennifer Lopez?
Legs was a little.
Okay.
Nice big. Okay. But the legs was a little. Now,
you insinuated in your book that Puffy was in fact with Kim Porter at the time that he started cheating on Kim with Jennifer Lopez, and you were the third wheel sometimes. He'd always have to have a third wheel when he and Jennifer Lopez would go out.
I was a co-signer.
Yes.
Yeah, when the phone rings and just don't answer the phone, take the phone off the hook.
Shine was not ready for prime time, huh? A lot of money.
He was made. You see, that's what you call making a star. Shine was a star that was made. But a star is meant to be. That's you can't make a star.
You can't manufacture it.
You can't make a Biggie Smalls. He already had the Biggie with him.
Let me ask you this: what is ill that Puffy is remorseful that Shine is still in jail, or Shine just a throwaway? He'll manufacture another.
Personally, Wendy, I don't think Puff has a feeling in his body that goes towards being considerate, passionate towards others. You understand? Because I lost too much, and that's the reason why it took so long. Because I sit back and see how long it's going to take for him to really get back to me. You know what, my brother? I want you to struggle. Come on.
I were back to you.
That's all right.
If I were him, I'd still try to stop this book, because what this book does is what it does.
Yeah.
But it's the screenplay. You know, it's that movie.
Yeah. No, we could go big time, but it's going to be
Not
hard
with
to
you
do
as
that
the fan.
I mean, I don't know
Now
why
I got
you
to talk to you behind the scenes.
I
We're
don't
gonna take
know
a
why
break.
I can get the charisma.
Exhibit A.
Yeah. Exhibit A.
Look, he talks like his tongue is numb.
That's how I
OMG,
rap.
I think.
That's how I rap. You ain't never noticed the rap scar. Are you a fan of mine?
I didn't know you.
Yeah, it's all right. Let me ask you a question.
No,
Wendy.
wait. We have to take a break. We'll be right
let's
back.
take a break.
Just a couple more questions, Mark. First one is, you mentioned in your book that Puff spent wildly after Big, that with Arista was pretty freshly signed, that $50 million contract, and he was buying mansions.
He sold a lot of records after Big's death.
Yes, and was spending wildly, and a lot of it also was being dumped in Sean John clothing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Was he kind to those who were kind to around him? Was he kind to you?
Nah. He has a front. He made kind to me is being a helpful person. Like you, he's not that kind of a person.
What was Puff's relationship with Mase?
Differences. The differences, and when usually somebody mess with your creative thoughts, your abilities, that'll drive you away, and that's kind of what happened with Mase. He got driven away.
You guys, there are some interesting anecdotes in this book, including when Suge Knight used Puff as a human shield. Who, by the way, was the rapper's mom who got kidnapped for the benefit of the drug cartel.
Now, this is the kind of interview I like. Now, that rapper right there, I would say they had to read the book, but it was Jamal.
From the illegal.
Yeah, it was Lil Jamal.
Eric Sermon's people.
There you go.
Eric Sermon was living in the basement of the rim shop at one point.
Yeah, it says when he first came to Atlanta, when him and P had they publishing problems.
And he spent $5,000 to have Parrish's house robbed.
There you go. He came right to Atlanta after the tour.
Okay, listen, you're totally frustrating me. You are a horrible pusher of your own product.
So you buy that. I tell you, everybody need to get that book because the truth is in it. And I ain't going to sit and gossip about the truth. Wendy, I told you that.
I know. Listen.
It's there.
You guys.
Buy the book. That's what you guys do.
Every single book that comes through here, I read most of the stuff thoroughly. Some of the stuff I just peruse. This one, I read with I say that this right here is book crack.
And that's all I wanted. That's why I feel good about.
But speaking to you about it, this sounds like it's been stepped on so many times.
It's all right. Get it up, pick it up, put it in your pocket, see what you could do with it.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. I want to see you walk out. Thank you, Mark, for coming in.
Thank you for having me here. Get that book.
Mark out.
Get that book.
You guys, you can go to Mark. Leave the books, please. I'd like to give them out to my friends.
I was going to take them back.
No.
I think you appreciate them, Wendy.
No, I still have my snack and everything. This interview wasn't even worth eating on. Get out of here. It was a good book, no Mark. Get somebody to speak for you next time. All right. He was the worst. I told him behind the scenes, though. I was real with it. But you know what, you guys? Would you get out of here? Would you walk him to the front? Oh, he forgot his phone. Because I'd be running that as soon as you hit the street. By the way, be careful out there in the street. I would definitely put a stop to this book. If I were Puffy, I'd be dancing like crazy in the office. That he didn't seem convincing. But I'm here to tell you, this book, man, this is 100% certified. This is some real interesting reading. It's called Dancing with the Devil. It's by Mark Curry. Thank God he had a ghostwriter. You know what I'm saying? Thank God. He's seen it all. Drinking urine. Girls getting punched in the face. Guys getting smacked up with chairs. People being held as human shields. He talked about everything in here except for walking in and finding a dude slumped over a chair with another dude behind him.
He's like about 10 years old, 8 years older than me, in his 50s, worked out, really good shape and everything. And we were having incredible sex, 2 hours.
Wow.